All right, what's up, folks? Today is November the 11th, 2024, and it's been a rough ride. It's been an interesting ride. So I got my first payout with TopStep, the trade-in prop firm. I guess not last week, but the week before. So and it was a nominal amount. A couple $100, something like that, $700. And man, it was a good feeling. It was surreal. I've been, working in the combines and everything for so long, and then I got into an express funded account, and then, I lost that, so I never got a payout. And so this time around, for whatever reason, I had taken a little bit of a break, and then I was focusing on my programming, and so I was using my programming to make trades and stuff, and so then I was actually doing pretty well. And for the last 2-3 weeks, I've been doing pretty well with trading and only taking 1 or 2 trades. And of course, today I blew it. I just blew it today. But even after the first payout that I got another 2 payouts last Friday. So that was it's still surreal, but it gives me more motivation to get back in there and do even better. So, and then I was talking with one of my buddies, and I realized that even today when I was trading, I didn't do as I was supposed to. I wasn't using any of my indicators. I didn't use any of my programming. I was just kind of going off of, I don't know. Well, and I would have done all right. I got swept up in that morning sweep, and I said, get out before the market opens. And of course, the market opened, it went up a little bit. I was in profit. I could have moved my stop up. I didn't. It went down and kept going down and down and down and down and down and down. So, yeah. 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 Anyway, so we I don't say we have to start over, but yeah, we gotta revamp some strategies. So anyway, what I'm gonna do today is I'm just gonna kind of quickly go over what I've been. Looks like the market is trying to do something now. What? Not that much, but it's a little push. Okay, 2 points. That's not. Anyway, all right. So one of the things I've been looking at here recently is AppStorage, and let me get this pulled up. I want to kind of go through some of this fairly quickly. Yes. If you don't mind, let me set everything up. Okay. All right. Yeah. So what I was working on last week, if you saw any one of the videos, you saw that I was pretty much using the Excel spreadsheet so that I could pull over data from the chart, and if I'm specifically looking for a bull. So these greens here, those greens. See this green here. You see it says large bull. It's that light green or so. So anytime we have one of those large green, those bulls there, it will kind of backtrack and see what the pattern was. Swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high. It'll see what that pattern is, and then it'll upload it to the Excel spreadsheet. And after it uploads to the Excel spreadsheet, we concatenate it, and so we put it into a simple string, which we could have done that before leaving the indicator, but we didn't do it that way. Nevertheless, we come over and we find out what the unique values are of these values. that being said, we get like a heat map so we can see how often this specific pattern happens versus this specific pattern versus this specific pattern. So you see that on the 1 minute time frame, a higher low, higher high, higher low happens more often before a bullish move than a lower high, lower low, lower high. And so I did a lot of updating to this script today, and this is one of the forms I'm using. So this label here puts the day that I updated the Excel spreadsheet for the newest information. This is the script here that runs that specific program. And so I'm just going to kind of go over a part of this program in a new program, if you will, so you can see how to use like AppStorage or something like that if you're working with a form that has values that change. And it is a little bit of a headache, so it's going to take me a little bit of a time to get through it, but this will be good practice for me. Like I said, I haven't been working on my program as much recently as I should have, so this will be good for me. All right. Over and move this over, and that script that I just showed you, it works here, and it's on I've got it working on multiple time frames, right? So this is the 1 minute time frame, 5 minute, 15 minute. This is the daily here, which I don't have it running on the daily, but I do have it set up so it can run for the 15-second time frame. And then you can see here, so for each specific time frame, that's what this pattern control is, right? So when I use the Excel spreadsheet, it tells me what for the 15-second time frame, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute time frame, what pattern is most likely to occur before that large bullish activity. So this first one, the blue one, the blue dot. The second one is the green that happens the second most often. Yellows happens third most often, or is third most likely, and then the red is the least likely, if you will. So now that I have this this arrangement here where I can see multiple time frames at one time, you can see here that we got this red here, but remember the red is at the bottom of the list. The red is least likely to give you the bullish behavior than the yellow or the blue. We don't even see blue on this specific day here at all. Not on the 15-minute time frame. We did see it on the 5-minute time frame, I think once. But here on the 5-minute time frame, it popped up here once just around 11:55 or so, but that didn't produce much of a movement. We were actually, butting up against descending resistance there. But then it did happen again here around 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the afternoon, and that would have been a decent potential entry, right? No, I don't know. Wait until you get past this break, maybe. All right, so again, and it's something that I routinely say. You hear me say often, over and over, is I can make some of these indicators, I can make some of these strategies and that kind of thing, but I don't always know how to trade them. So that's probably what I'll be working on in this next year of trading and programming, is learning how to trade. So we did get, like I said, some blue indications here. Now, if we do a global positioning here, we see that we got it on the 5-minute time frame here, and then we also got it on the 1-minute time frame, right? So I think that that's how I want to use this, is if I get it on multiple time frames, then I can take it as an entry, right? Like I said, once you get it here, if you get it here and then you take it on this entry, wherever your stop is below this, I mean, I don't know, that might have been just a one-to-one, but I'm going to figure out how to use this thing better and better. All right, so what I was working on specifically is this guy here, right? So using AppStorage, I wanted to be able to store these values here. So if I run a new set of data, right? So let me do this, show you how it works. And honestly, guys, I'm kind of running out of videos to do, right? Because I know you don't want to see the basic boring stuff that I've done in the past, kind of the basics. And maybe you do, maybe you need to see that stuff. But I've kind of gotten beyond that level with my programming, and so I don't know if it's I'm sure it'll be useful to some of you guys, but I don't know if it's as useful for me to just do it over. But if you want to see that stuff, just let me know. I'll be more than willing to do those, because those are much easier. But these programs here take hours to make, and so I know you don't want to sit here for hours watching. All right, so if we got like we pull up the one, we're on the 1 minute time frame back here. You see that? Pull up the 1 minute time frame, and then if I go here and I go to, I tell you what, I want to go to how those plotted. We're going to go to, I've got it set up so it can log the data. I'll change that to true. Okay. All right, and you see it changing this data here. You see those values changing as it's going through the chart. It's seeing what those patterns are. Okay, and I can see here that I need to make some kind of modification, because this shouldn't be skipping here like this. What is that? What is that? What is that? Why is that? Why did it do that? Because what I have it set up to do is run all of the patterns that it gets, and then when it gets to when it finishes with the patterns on the chart, then it will just print blanks in the rest of the rows up to 500. So it did something weird here. Something weird there. I'm not sure. That's gonna be something that I have to look over. All right, I'm gonna run it again and see if it does the same thing. Which I imagine it will. There's no reason why it shouldn't. And when it's done, it'll give updated values here. And the chart should show up as well. Okay, so it still didn't get rid of these here. I'm gonna delete these, save the file, then see what, I'm gonna delete all these. Save the file. Then I'm just gonna run this. All right, see it populating those. Okay, so we didn't get the skips. Interesting. Also lost my concatenation. It's gonna be something that I have to consider. Again, I just made this, a couple weeks ago, so 5 minute time frame. I just need to make sure that the concatenation piece does follow any new data. Yeah. Okay, so like this one is okay. I just need to drag this down. Oh, it's concatenating all the way to 500, I guess. Okay, all right, so we're gonna save that. All right, so you see how this here has higher low, higher high, higher low. There's a 1 minute time frame. We go over here. You see so for the first one, for the one that happens most often, we're going with higher low, higher high, higher low. And the second one is higher low, higher high, lower low. So here we want to put higher low, higher high, lower low. So we put higher high. Tell you what, let me zoom out of this. So you can see it changing This will be the green, so this green here should change according to whatever new values we put in here. Higher low, higher high, lower low. Hit enter. 1 minute time frame. Guess I didn't play with it enough. Ah. Oh, it's not done doing something. Computer is still working. It's getting very laggy. Probably because I'm streaming. There it goes. All right, so you see it removed those greens where they were, and it moved them to here because we changed the pattern. Okay. Higher low, higher high, lower low, and then this third one would be lower low, lower high, lower low. Lower low, lower high. Pretty sure it's case sensitive. Lower low. That'll be the yellow one. So this yellow one here should probably disappear and go somewhere else. Once it's done, update. Tell you what, I could probably close out this other. Not done? Okay, there it is. Okay, there it is. All right, so you see it change. Okay. All right. Well, what I don't like about this is you see the points. It says 2. You see the count. It says 2, 2, 2. This isn't very. Now, when you start getting this statistics and statistical significance and that kind of thing, 2 isn't very significant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is 2. This is 2. This looks different than this. But this is also 2. All these are 2. This is 1. Okay, so all 3 of these are kind of tied for 2. So what we really want to do is we really want to go a little bit further. A chart that's a little bit longer so that we can find out what's really good. What's really significant. Over here, and instead of this chart going back, see from 1027 to 11 27 5 days. Let's go back 25 days. Now see. Higher low, higher high, higher. This possibilities column is running out all the unique possibilities amongst all these concatenated values. See, guys, this is going down and making new values. These are being concatenated. And these are all the unique possibilities amongst all these. Now what comes in first place? The score of 13. Wait a minute. It says a score of 13. You see the value there, but when you look over here, it says score of 12. That's not good math. This should be one or the other. What's this? Higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. This one is 12. What? I think my count is off. My count volume. E. Where did these come from? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Because I said that I updated my script since then, and I'm not doing anything past 500. So I said 500 is enough. Pretty much. It's going to take some more, you know, looking over, vamping, and that kind of thing. But we'll get there. All right, so we got 12 there, and then this is showing 13. See, part of the reason why, because these possibilities here are showing that there's only this number of possibilities amongst all these, but yet this is found more possibilities. So I know why it is though, because all these possibilities are all the possibilities that you may find amongst these 6 letters. Pretty sure. But these possibilities are the only ones that were found amongst here. So we should still only get these numbers here. How is this possible? Times in volume some of these values should be 0. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 should be 0. E5 to E5, 6, 6. Yep. Okay. These are not. These are just copy and pasted over. So 9. Four. All right. $5.66. Possibility. Pattern score. Again, guys, feel free to fast forward through all this. Sometimes I just kind of sit here and figure stuff out. It is what it is. All right. Question now is, are any of these unique or duplicates? Because none of these are duplicates. Okay? These are the only possibilities. Technically, I'm just going to copy this over from here to here. But I feel like that's being less than honest. So like if all these are possibilities, and if you look for these within these, you should get honest numbers, not some. Let's drag this down. That shouldn't make a difference. Let's break it down. What values is this referencing? Not referencing all of it. That's for one. That helped or hurt the situation. 12, 9. You got the 12 and the 9. Who is 13? Oh, okay, here's 13. All right, I'm tripping. All right, so these values are not sorted, which typically the one that happens most often, the higher low, higher high, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher low, typically falls into the first category, and it's always at the top anyway. So what we end up doing is just kind of taking this, dragging it, and then sorting it. I guess I'm gonna have to resort this and just kind of check over it every time when I get ready to do it. I think that's what it amounts to. So that's okay as long as I know that. I mean, honestly, this is taking a lot of work off my shoulders. The fact that I can do heat map and all this other kind of stuff. So, if I have to go in here and I have to do a few other things, I just do a control save there. If I have to do a few other things that, to verify, make sure that the information, the data is correct. All right, so what we should get here for the first one, it's like there's almost a tie between, first one and second one. The first one would actually be a lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're on the 1 minute chart. So we need to put a lower low, lower high, lower low. And then for second place, we put higher low, higher high, higher low. And then for third place, we put higher high, higher low, higher high. Fourth place, we put higher low, lower high, lower low. Hit enter. It's out of here. And then see what the result is. Oh, you could do it. Oh, that's loading up. See what it's not going to move that because this form here is part of that other chart that's still working in pre-bull patterns, so it's still working, so it's not letting me move this. Nevertheless, still able to look on the back side of this back side of the chart here. Curious of what happened in the market N and Y. That large market activity between the entire depth of the market. So everything that I have for level 2 anyway, which is 10 levels deep. Large amount of market activity. Here with this large bid activity, we had a sell-off, and then here we're starting the idea of a interestones. Like some of my data just kind of stopped working here around this time. I think that's around the time I got back to the house and I was working on something. And I probably froze the machine up. Okay, this seems to be working, so pre-bull bat patterns must be one. Okay. All right, again, this is the fourth one, so this is the one least likely to give us a move up, right? This green is the second in line to give us a move up, so I'm curious to see what happens next. Green, yellow. Blue is supposed to be front, leading the charge. I'm not really seeing any blue, actually, which is that's impossible. Well, can't be impossible because we're at the end of the chart. All right, did I get that right? Lower low, lower high, lower low. Lower high, lower low, lower high. And it hasn't shown the radar. That's something I wasn't prepared for. Lower low, lower high. Pattern 1. Blue. Very finicky. And see, this is something that I learned earlier. So if you made it this far into the video, I hope you did. This is one of the nuggets that you want to take, right? So I'm looking to ask the computer, is this information, this string, equal to the pattern the string that I have already into the program? And when I had this set up before, I had, so when you're on one of these boxes, I had let me find it. Bear with me. I had multi-line. Multi-line was set as true. And so when you hit enter with multi-line, it goes to a new line instead of, just entering the value. So what I had to change, so there's a couple things I had to do. One is that I turn multi-line to false. And then the second thing that you got to do is you got to go over to the event handler, and then you do a key up, right? So if you press the key down, it'll do something. Once you release the key up, that's when I want it to take charge and perform an action. So what action did I want it to perform? I wanted to save the value from that text box into the app storage, which saves it into kind of like the memory of the computer, the memory of the platform while it's up, because as soon as you shut TradeStation down, it kind of wipes it. That memory anyway, but I want it to save the memory, and then when it reopens the script back up, it's going to pull that memory back up, and then it'll plot it back down here. Problem is if you see this right here, when I click on it, it's got a space right here. This does not have a space at the end. Not have a space at the end. No space at the end. This has a space at the end. Since it has a space, it's not showing the it's saying that the string is not equal to the other string. So we need to delete that space, then hit enter, then we should get our values. I knew it was something simple now. That's the thing I like about programming. I mean, it's complicated enough, but it's not rocket science. And And you know, there is a causality, cause effect relationship. If you do something wrong or put something in that it's not expecting, then you're going to get a wrong result. So you ought to be able to program in some safeguards and all that kind of stuff, but that I haven't done. And the thing I like about this is the way that I have it set up. It's when I change this chart from the 1 minute time frame to the 15-second time frame, it's going to automatically then use the values from the 15-second time frame. If I change it to the 5 minute time frame, it's going to use these values from the 5 minute time frame. So got it set up just how I want it. All right, not done yet. All right, one of the things, there it goes. One of the things that it's doing and why it takes so long is because it's going back here and it's working in the background, sending stuff to Excel. If I didn't have it send stuff to Excel, then it'd be a lot quicker. All right, so now you see these blues again. The blue is the leader, the top out. So the blue does seem to give some decent entries. But I want to stack them up. I want to stack up different time frames. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the edit studies and then we'll turn off inputs. Show form, yes. Log data. We don't need to log data. We don't need to go to Excel anymore. All right. So we get this. All right. So if I go to the 1 minute time frame, 5 minute time frame. Remember we saw that earlier on the multiple time frames. That area right there was a hot spot. Okay, cool. Like I said, man, if I would spend a little bit more time just trading my indicators and stuff that I really put hours and hours and time and hours, and then let the computer add to it, I'd probably do a lot better. But let's see how it works in a downtrend. All right, work there, not so much there. Remember the reds are the worst of them. Blues, okay. Coming up, this is after hours here. Okay. All right. Anyway, so let's move on. Be 38 minutes into it, so about 40 minutes into it, I'm going to restart. I'm going to start a new workspace. Oh, and you see when I did change the time frame, how quickly it moved to a new time frame. It's because it wasn't right in Excel. Time frame not looking bad. So let's let that hang out in the background. We can minimize that. Come over here. We open up a new chart. We will have this on the 1 minute time frame. It doesn't really matter because the chart itself, we're going to be making something with regard to regards to a window AppStorage. Okay, so I've got all these saved. Okay, get that out of here. Open that up. Make that larger. Show me. 22, 11, 11, 11, 24. Come on. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put up a I don't know. We need to come up with something. Let's do a resource view. Do forms. Add a form. So pretty much what you do. Like I said, if you here, all right, okay, you go to view and then you go to toolbars, and then you can click resource view or project toolbox. You click those, they will show up over here on the side of your screen. You can click either one of those when you're ready to use like something out of your toolbox or something like that. But for right now, when we're making the form, you need to go to resource view. Go to resource view, go to forms, left click on it. Now you right click on it, and then you click add form, and then it'll open up this nice new form for you here. Now that you're here, now you need the toolbox. So you click on toolbox, you can pin that down if you want to, and then you can put a label, double click the label, put a button. There's a button there, there's a label there, and then let's do a I want to do something with AppStorage, so the text box, and yeah, keep it simple. Okay. All right, so let's this is primarily what we're using here, so we're gonna enlarge this, open up the properties menu. Already opened up. Let's go, and we're on the events here. We're gonna go to the properties. We're gonna call this label 1 is fine. What's gonna be in the label will be Eric's form from Eric's form. Okay. All right, and then we're gonna, so you see here it says form 1. That's the name of the form. Go to here, form 1, or you can just click on the form itself. The name of the form is here, but the text is here. So the name of the form is kind of its handle. So we could call this FRM1. And you see that didn't change right there. But the text right here is the text right here. So we call this Eric's App Storage Project. You see that change it up there, Eric's App Storage Project. Okay, so the button, we don't really need to do anything with the button. I don't know. I just want to put a button. All right. You want to change the color? Go here, drop that down, make it green. Be fine. All right, text box. We're gonna we're just gonna leave it text box. Then we're gonna verify it. No errors. Come back over. So you're in your form. You're in your from 1 here now. Now we're gonna come back over to the project. Click in there, and then you hit verify. You haven't done anything yet. I mean, the form is associated with the project, but you haven't done anything with it yet. Come over here. I'm gonna add it to the chart. So it'll be YT. That guy there. Okay, and now it's on the chart, right? So I hit Control T. You see it's on the chart there. All right, so even though it's on the chart, it's not showing up. You know, the form is not showing up. Why isn't it showing up? All right, we haven't actually shown it. So you have to do one step further. You have to do from, or whatever you want to call it, from dot show, open close parentheses, now verify, and it shows up here. Okay, so you can do a couple other things with the form. Go in, resize it. It's easy enough to resize it here. If you figure you want to resize it like this, and then you want to drag this top one down and drag the top leftmost corner, well, you can't do that, right? So what you can do is take this, drag around those, move this, then drag this part in. Now, verify it there. Now it's a little bit smaller. Unfortunately, it said too much top left of the screen, and it's covering stuff. So what we need to do is we need to place it better. So not padding, not dock, not enabled, anchor, control location, right here. X is, I think it's about 25 is where we go there. And then, so that's, you know, right to left. And then the Y, how far down it goes. It's 100. Verify that. Yep, something like that. Puts it right in there. Okay, so we're gonna actually go down. I hear more. Okay. All right, go down a hair more. Okay. All right, so right there. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put something in the text box. Okay. And then I want to show you what happens when you put something in the text box. Put something in the text box. I'll say Eric. And then I hit enter. And I click off of it, and that's fine. It stays there, right? That's the text box. Text box stays there. All right, so now I'm going to hit. I'm going to turn my script off. So I'll turn it off, and then when I turn it back on, it starts back over to text box 1. Like, but man, you just put Eric in there. Yes, I did. I hit enter, and I'll go through and I will study, disable studies, disable that. And I'll go back and I'll re-enable it. Again, it's gone. Okay, so this is where AppStorage comes in. So AppStorage is kind of the memory of the TradeStation. As long as you have the window, the platform open, it'll save in like a memory bank information that goes into AppStorage. And when you close down TradeStation, then it deletes. It's gone, right? So if you really want to save stuff throughout multiple uses of the platform, then you'll want to go ahead and bring stuff over to Excel. Bring it to Excel. Have it write to Excel, or you can have it write to StreamWriter, StreamReader, to a text file. Either one of those are fine. But the text box here, if we want to be able to keep this information, say if I put in Eric there, it's not going to stay. So what I need to do is I'll come over here. I'm going to utilize AppStorage. The great thing about AppStorage also is that you really don't have to do anything to kind of initialize it. It's already there. All right, so AppStorage is much like your dictionaries. You know what? We're about to find out. I don't know if typically you're going to use using elsystem.collections whenever you use anything like a collection, a dictionary, anything like that. AppStorage, again, you don't need to declare it with a variable. You don't need to do anything like that. All you got to do is say AppStorage. Let's see. We're going to find the text box. Text box is called text box 1. That'll be where the text is. So AppStorage. See, it already comes up there. AppStorage. We'll have something called key. I don't know. AppStorage. AppStorage. Key equal to text box 1.text. Okay. Now I verified it. Okay. And now that I verified it, there's the fact that I verified it and there's no errors, and this is working on the chart, means that we have stored. Now we might get an error here in a second, but it means that at least on one bar, we stored what was in the text of text box 1. We stored it to AppStorage under key. Yeah, and I'm actually surprised that we're not getting an error there, because if it runs it more than once, I imagine that it's just overwriting what's in the key section. All right, so what we're going to do here, just to kind of confirm, is we're going to go to print, and then we will print what's in the AppStorage at the key. But before you do that, before you pull something out of the AppStorage, just like with any collection, of vector or dictionary, anything like that, you want to make sure that there's something there. So we'll say if AppStorage, or if AppStorage contains what? Key, then print. We're going to print what's in the AppStorage. So we're going to print AppStorage at key. As type string, because we put a string in there. Right. Okay. Now you see what's happening. All right, so, and again, I'm a little bit surprised. I didn't realize that AppStorage works like this, because the way that you know, the collections, the vectors, and the dictionary work. Well, the dictionary works. You have a key, and you have an object. One key, one object. If you want to put something in the, if you want to assign something to the key, it cannot already have an object. It'll say that, you know, that the key already exists, right? So the fact that with AppStorage, you can, it's letting you on every single bar, it's letting you store this isn't inch bar persist. It is inch bar persist. So on every single tick, is technically storing what's in text box 1 to key over and over and over, which is kind of crazy. So what I'm going to do is, since, well, I'm just going to change key right here. I'm just going to change text box right here. Now imagine that it's going to change the words down here. Oh, too many K. Yep. So it changed it that quick. Okay, so like I said, that's information for me, because if I had known that, that would have actually saved me a bunch of programming that I did earlier, because I went through the process of saying, oh, if the key exists, delete what's at the key and then reassign a new value. I didn't know that you could just overwrite with AppStorage, which is good and bad, because with the dictionary, it won't let you overwrite. So it'll give you an error if you try to write something else to that key. And that way you have the wrong data, you know. But if you accidentally are overwriting something to that key, AppStorage will let you do it. So if you have, because AppStorage works with multiple different charts, if you are storing something to the word key in this chart, you better not be storing it to key in this chart unless you intend for them to have the same key. Otherwise, you're going to be doing something to this chart inadvertently because you changed the key over here. So, yeah, well, this changes everything. All right, so anyway, what I'm going to do now is we want to, you remember earlier when we restart this thing, right? When we turn it off and I'm going to turn it back on, and it's not going to say Eric anymore. It's going to say text box 1, right? It says text box 1 because text box 1 is being initialized at the beginning of this program by the properties of the text box. Text box here, the property says that the text is going to be text box 1. So what we could do is at the initialization of the script, we could say, all right, well, if there's something in AppStorage, make that text box 1, okay? And we know that we can assign something to a key in AppStorage. We've already done it, okay? So what we want to do now is we want to say, all right, so we'll do this on initialization. Just the way I'm doing it here, I'll do this on initialization. So on this form here, analysis technique, events, uninitialize, double click that there, and then initialize, double click that there. Okay, so for initialize, this is when the chart first opens up. So if the chart first opens up, then we got to say if AppStorage dot contains key, then text box 1 dot text equals what's in AppStorage at key. Remember, when you're coming out of coming out of some type of collection, you need to as type it as type string. Okay, so that solves the issue of when we start the chart up, if there's something in AppStorage, use that information instead of text box 1 text. All right, so the uninitialize, really don't have to do anything there because for uninitialize, we're going to get rid of this part here, and instead of storing the key here, we're going to pretty much, I guess, use it up here. We're going to, before we close the chart out, right as the chart is closing out, we're going to store what's in text box 1 text, because if it was changed here, then it will be updated when we open up the chart. So whatever's in text box 1 as we're closing the chart, if I put Eric, or if I put, you know, John or whoever, that new text will then be assigned to key. And then when we get ready to open the chart back up, it'll say, oh, do you have something in key? You say, yes, I do. Well, then take what's in key and make that text box 1 as we're opening the new chart up. Okay, so and we only need to show this form once. We don't need to print anything. So now we verify it. Change that to Eric. Shut it down. Open it back up. You see it says Eric. Okay. If I change that to John, now when we shut it down, we open it back up, it says John. Why? Because it stored that information to the AppStorage. Now, if you want to take it one step further, what you could do, which is what I had to do with this other program, which made it a little bit, made it a little bit complex. I'm going to let it work on an enter. Using enter. So what I need to do is I need to have another event handler here, but this will be for the form and this will be for the text box, and then event handler here, it'll be key up. So once you press the key down and then release it, that's what we're looking for. I think we're looking for 13, which is enter. So we double click, we went to form, clicked on text box, clicked on events, clicked on key up, we double clicked it, and that gave us a new method. Go back over to our main form, and we have this new method here. So now what do we want to happen when we release the enter button? Release the Kraken. What do we want to happen? Okay, so we want, when we release the enter button, we want to reinitialize. We want to reinitialize. And sometimes that's going to be important, right? Like you said, like you saw that I had scripts running that is asking for new swing highs, new swing lows, and it's based on a value that's here. Well, when this value changes, you need to rerun the script. So this may not be an issue here. I'm gonna make it a little bit more complex and see if we can come up with something. Yeah. All right. So what I'm gonna do here is if we get a key up button. So if args, which args is like the argument. This is the object is what sends this this event, and the args is like data or information about the event. So if args dot key value equals 13, which is the enter button, then we're going to just do this here first. We're going to do print I hit enter. Verify that. Okay, so now I'm going to come in here and then I'm going to hit the enter button. Enter, I hit enter. Enter, I hit, see? Boom, 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 boom. Okay, all right, so, but instead of just it allowing enter to be hit, what I want to do is I want to recalculate. So we're going to do throw el system dot. I think it's throw exception. Got to use el system, using el system throw EL system dot recalculate exception dot create open close that. I think that's it. Now when I hit enter, it'll really quickly show that I hit enter, but then it'll recalculate the chart, so you probably won't even see it say that I hit enter. Yeah, well, it did. Well, that's because it doesn't clear the print log, right? All right, okay, so I hit enter, and then that quickly it recalculated the chart. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say here, if we have the time is equal to 1556 on the date 11/11. So if time equals 1556 and date equals 124/11/11, then X draw label. All right, we're gonna do that. That's gonna be a method. So we're gonna come up here. We're gonna have that new method void. Man, it's been a while since I've been programming, but this sure does feel good to be back at it. Gosh. All right, so since we're drawing, we're going to use drawing using EL system dot drawing using EL system dot drawing objects, and then we're gonna have some variables, which is going to be text label TL1 null, and then so if we're going to draw the label, the label is going to be drawn here at whatever time that was. So we're going to do TL1 dot or equals text label dot create, and where are we going to create it at? We need the where we're going to put it, the bar number point or the date time point, and then we're going to put the text. Bar number point is going to be BM point. BM point stands for bar number. Bar number point dot create. We need the bar number and we need the price. So BN. That's my function for bar number, which is just essentially max bars back, or bar number. What is it? Plus max bars back minus 1. Yeah, something like that. All right, and then we're going to. The text is going to be. Watch this. The text is going to be this text here. Text label. Text label. Dot. What was it? It was not text. Text box 1. Text box 1 dot text. And that is a string, so that's just fine. And then we got to add that to the chart. So drawing. Drawing objects dot add text box. I'm getting a little bit rusty, so I gotta get back to it. Like I said, I haven't been on here in almost a month, so I gotta get back to it. Is that text box 1 or text box L? Endpoint dot create that. I got text box. Oh, price, which would be the low. We'll subtract 1 from it. That's the BM point dot create, comma, boom. Text box 1 dot lock. Sure it is. You can lock a text box, a text label. Oh, we're locking the text label. Okay, all right. TL1 dot lock. And I know I'm not supposed to be using like ones and because the ones look like L's. I know, trust me, it's a mess. All right, this is TL1. All right. Where is my stuff? Okay, so time is equal to 1556, which it is, and the date is equal to 124, not 111, because 124, that should be 011. But anyway, we have two few digits here. So 11. All right, there we go. All right, so you see John appears here and is locked. All right, so now when I do this, I should change it. Oh, what you doing, man? Okay, so it's trying to change it. You know what? I think it's because it's on ticks. It's trying to update. No, I feel like this is just doing it on every single key. So args. This here. It's the way that you put it in, right? All right. So if you look at this, this logic here, it says, this is the key up portion of this text box, right? So the key up version of this, the key up method of this text box is pretty much saying if it's an enter, then you're going to print I hit enter. Otherwise, you're just going to throw an exception. So anytime you have a key up, anytime you have any key up, right? So when I hit the letter E, it doesn't do anything. But once I release the letter E, then it recalculates, right? Okay, so what I need to do is I say if I hit the enter button, I can do that print thing, that's fine. Then begin, we'll allow it to print. Then we throw the recalculation exception, which recalculates the chart, and then we'll hit verify there. And then we'll go here, and then we'll type in Eric, and then once I hit enter, now it's going to recalculate the chart, and it's going to put Eric right there at the label. Boom. Okay, so like I said, this is the kind of stuff that you might want to do to use AppStorage so that from one chart to the next, it'll stay stored. Now, I haven't played with this enough. It's my understanding that that AppStorage will stay with this chart. So I'm curious if I open up another chart. I'm learning here with you now. So I'm gonna copy this, paste it. We have another chart exactly the same. Okay, I don't know which one is for which, but let's make this one Eric. Okay. All right, so this one is for this one, and this one is for Ishma. Okay, so I'm trying to wrap my head around what I'm thinking about right now. Oh, I know what I'm thinking about. Because I wanted to print what's in AppStorage stored under key. And since that's a part of that script, no, instead of printing I hit enter, I wanted to print what's in AppStorage. That way I can tell from one chart to the next what the value of key is. Because I think AppStorage crosses charts. Maybe it doesn't. We want to print what's in the as type string. Okay. All right, so we got to get this one back out of here. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Eric's. Okay, this is John. Keeps putting it back in the same place. That's because it's recalculating the chart every time. Let's see. And then did it print the app storage key as type string? If I do Eric's, it prints Eric's. That's on this chart. This chart. Eric's 2 S's. Okay, so it's printing off this chart. It is print. Nope. It didn't print Eric's with the double S. Oh, that's right. That's because it's printing what was in the storage. It's not saved to the storage until it closes out. So that makes sense. But what's not in the storage is John. So let's try John now and see. Okay, so I clicked on John. Now John did come up, but obviously it's coming up because I'm printing it off of this one. Okay. I'm just trying to think of another way to. You know what? We could print what's in AppStorage to a label. Go here, open this up, make a label, and then the value of this label is going to be what? Go to properties, go to, it's called label 2, go here, and then once we once we we're going to do a method, and then so once the mouse enters the area, we're going to update the here's our method here. Once the mouse enters the area, we're going to update the word of the label 2.text equals what's in AppStorage at key as type string. Okay, so watch this. Once I go over it, boom, John. Okay, so once I go over this, it says Eric's. Okay, so I'll put something else weird there. Okay, go over this. This says that, and then once I hit this says that. So it looks like AppStorage. Yeah, because this one was saying AppStorage of key is John Were, and this one is saying that AppStorage is currently Eric Stwer. Yeah, so apparently AppStorage is just the chart itself. It's not, it doesn't cross charts. So I mean that's good to know too. That's good to know. But that's a very good idea though, to be able to use AppStorage instead of a vector or a dictionary, or because dictionaries can be a little bit cumbersome. But yeah, that's I like that. I'll have to wrap my head around it, but like I said, I've been a while getting back to programming, and I'm excited to be back, guys. So hopefully we can get back on track, and we can become profitable once again. But in the meantime, I just say I've got to slow down because I'm moving too fast. It's getting the best of me. But what do you expect? What do you expect? All right, guys, I'm gonna print out a couple screenshots of what happened today, and so I can have that to study. and I will enjoy the rest of the night. Hope you guys do the same. All right, and with that being said, I'm Eric. I'm out. Peace.